Hey everyone, welcome back to my butterfly garden. I am so glad you're here. I've got so much to show you today, so let's get started. It's Wednesday morning. I just came out to my garden and just did a walkthrough like I do some mornings. And it was so pretty over here in my pentas garden. I thought, you know what? We just need to walk through this garden section. And the showstopper has got to be my sweet almond that I have been consistently chopping the top off of. Look at how the stems curve down and swoop over this garden area. It's just magnificent. Okay, so right here at the beginning of the walkway, I have some scorpion's tail that just came up. That's Florida native. And I let it. It just came up here. I'm like, okay, you can stay. But I keep trimming it up because, of course, everything wants to go over the walkway. There's another one coming up right there. This is a non-native porterweed that came up here on its own, and I left it. And then right behind it is a pot that has some cosmos in it. And this is one of those pots of cosmos that were coming up in my walkway. And I would just pluck them up and stick them in this pot. And they're still going strong here. And then on the other side of it is actually in it. Oh my goodness. There's a porterweed in the pot, and I'm just leaving it there. Look who's right down here. I have to come get a little privet senna, so I'll have to pluck that up and pot it. And then, of course, some weeds. I have weeds. These guys come up everywhere, but that's okay. I mean, it's not ugly, is it? No. So I let them. I keep them out of the walkway, but, you know, they're under everything. It's okay. There are some zinnias. I scattered zinnia seeds in here just randomly, and they're gorgeous. I don't know what type this is, but they're this like orangey red, reddish orange. And of course, these flowers are more spent, but there's more coming. And they're set in here with this Mexican sunflower, and they're gorgeous all together. And I see butterflies landing on these oh so frequently. I also need to deadhead. I've been sick, you guys, like not miserably sick, but I've got this little something that's just kind of knocking me down. You might hear it in my voice. It's some kind of respiratory thing. So anyway, on this side of the beginning of the walkway are some fire bushes. This fire bush is not Florida native. I've had this fire bush before I knew how to tell the difference between native and not. This fire bush right here is Florida native. And they just have an overall very red look. Red stems. The leaves have a lot of redness to them. So when you're looking at this one, you can just see the more red showing. And then when you come over and look at this one, see, not much red, not native. All right, let's take a few steps in. This is my hanging basket with the gazania daisies. They're still here. And then this is that odd wetland Florida native plant. I can't remember what it was, but I showed it to you several videos ago, and I just kind of left it here to see what it's going to do. What I really want to do is trim it down and see if it'll shrub out. And then, wow, this is really getting grown in. Look at the sweet almond hanging down, and look, it's going to sprinkle its little flowers down on the tropical sage. Look, a snow square stem coming up. Not supposed to be there. And my Bahama Senna is growing up in there. And look what we have right here. This is some pipe vine that I've had planted back here. It has never really taken off, but it's always there and it's being eaten. Are there caterpillars here? Oh, yes, there are. Look, little baby polydamas swallowtail caterpillars. So we're going to let them be. So here are my pentas. I have 3 in the ground, I believe. I need to come out. Look, look. Yeah, you can tell somebody's been sick. And it's been really hot too. So I need to just walk through. I should have brought my clippers. We could have deadheaded together, y'all. We could have deadheaded together. But they're beautiful. And I'll see a lot of swallowtails back here. Polydamas really like to come back here and nectar on these red pentas. Look how pretty with the white from the sweet almond that's sprinkled down. Look, like snow. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And then right behind it is the porterweed I planted in here. There's another little porterweed. These are not the native porterweeds. Remember, all this was empty. In the back, there's some firebush growing up, not native, that all died back in our freeze. So like you could see this whole wall. It really, I did not like it. Remember, I kept sneaking back and planting snow square stems. Look at them. They're almost as tall as the house. Those ones back there. Look how tall they are. These are ones I don't get to trim. I mean, can you, I wonder, I just sit and I think, are you going to be trees? What are you doing back there? Snow square stems. And there's passiflora incense growing up in the sweet almond. Do you see the purple flowers? That stuff is everywhere. So back in here, there is a lot of tropical sage. I did come and trim off the little deadheads, so it's not blooming right now. But it will be again, and it's really pretty in there with the porterweed. And there's some zinnias coming up in there. And I also felt like this side needs some height. So I moved one of my potted trees back here. This is my potted, look who's joining us. I didn't think I'd see any butterflies because it's so early. They usually sleep in. Usually the bees will come out first, but there is a little skipper out here with us. I love it. Okay, so this is one of my potted host trees, and it is the winged sumac. It is a host to the red-banded hair streak and the Luna moth. So I just set its pot right down in here. And look, there's a little one coming up beside it. There's some more zinnias coming up in here. A lot of tropical sage. Again, when all that tropical sage starts blooming again after I chopped it back, it's going to be beautiful. This is a blueberry. It's a regular blueberry, not a native, that we've had forever, and I just work around it. Here is the privet senna, host plant to cloudless and orange barred sulfurs that I planted in the ground here a few videos ago. And it will grow up to and add height to this garden section because I don't like the big wall. I feel like that big wall is just empty space. Those firebush last year were up touching the roof. So I really, like when those froze back, it really made a huge visual difference in this part of the garden. And I'm just glad everything's growing in again. Another fire bush, not native. Let me see who else is in here. There's a snow square stem. It's actually in a pot, but I'm just kind of leaving it there. I just keep trimming it down when I trim the fire bush to keep it shaped because I really do not want the fire bush to be up to the roof this year. So I've been consistently coming back and trimming it. And then here's a little shepherd's hook, and These are my little verbenas that I grew from seed, remember? They're still here. They're over here in this shepherd's hook, and they're pretty happy, but they're getting like really leggy. So I might trim them back a little bit, see if they'll, but they're still flowering. So I don't know, I'm just kind of leaving them alone too. So now we're at the end of the walkway. I'm going to go back through because I need to talk about this side, but I just want to give you the overall look with that gorgeous sweet almond. It's just so pretty. Now this garden bed gets full blazing sun through most of the day, which is why I couldn't tolerate being out here in the afternoon to show this to you, because it would be so hot. It's been so hot lately, and I love the heat, but when you're just out in the sun, it's just too much. So that's why we're going through in the morning, and I just think the lighting is just beautiful in the shade. There's a monarch out too. Some of the butterflies are starting to come out. Yay! It's down there on the starry rosinweed. Okay, let's go back through. On this side, I have a trellis. Oh, look, there's a little friend right here. I have a trellis passiflora incense, host plant to golf fritillaries, which I think there's one right here. You see him peeking through? Hello, little golf fritillary caterpillar. I'm gonna let you be. We're glad you're here. You can see there's been a lot of activity on the, oh, is this another? Yep, here's another one. Hello. Good morning. Happy muncher. So this is a trellis that I started back at the beginning of the year when there was one little bitty stem, a passiflora incense, coming back from the freeze. And every time I walk by, if I see it like growing and trailing, I would just take it and stick it back into the trellis. So it's kind of like now this mounding thing. Oh my gosh, here's another one. See, like this branch right here stemming out, I will just take it and it really sticks to itself. You can see there's a caterpillar on it. That's a big one too. And I'll just tuck it in. There's another one down there, caterpillar. Another porterweed. Here's a little cluster of tropical sage. Another porterweed. This is Mexican sunflower. It's just coming up. I threw some Mexican sunflower seeds over here too, and I love it. There's one, I think this is its own plant. Yes, two. This is the one that's flowering. And then there's this booger that's the one I keep cutting back, and it just wants to be huge, but it's not flowering yet. So you can see where I've trimmed it. We're waiting. It's waiting, but can you even imagine? This thing's going to be glorious when it blooms because it's huge. That's all one plant. And these are coming in just in time because my Mexican sunflowers across over there are starting to look really, really scrappy. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to start a big project, which I'll show you kind of the before. Over here, let's go over there now. Over here is my hole with a wall all the way around bed. And it's got all kinds of stuff back here. And then it has a little cobblestone walkway with the border grass. Well, inside of it is a bunch of random stuff, like a bunch. There's potted salt bush, a ton of potted cosmos that aren't flowering because my bald cypress tree has gotten so huge. This whole little bed is getting mostly shade and filtered sunlight now. So I want to move those cosmos out. I actually think the perfect place to move them to is right over there. I can line them up I can line them up in front of my scrappy looking Mexican sunflowers. See? Scrappy. Super scrappy. But if I put those in front, it'll fill in all that with their green. And I just need to do some deadheading. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Look, here comes little Miss Ray. Hi, Ray. Good morning. Come here. Did you have your breakfast, little one? Did you have your breakfast? Hi, Booger. Yes, you're so short. Yes, you are. So I'm going to pull out everything potted that's a cosmos and move it over there. It'll get in the sun and then it'll start blooming because right here it's just all being green. And this is prime space. It's right in front of our garden chairs. And it needs something, which I'm working on. I have ideas. But first of all, it's got to get cleared out. So that's what I'll be working on. You'll see it. It's not going to be like in one day thing. It'll be me coming out and I'll move out a few plants and then it'll sit for a while. But since I'm just randomly filming everything I'm doing, you'll just get to see the process of it over time. Look how pretty it is down the whole garden runway. Oh my gosh, mornings are beautiful, but I don't film a lot because we're for butterfly gardening and they're just not up early. They like to sleep. But once in a while, you know, we're going to sneak out. All right, let's get back to where we were. I also want to show you my mountain mint. Can you see it from here? Look at the white. Can you see it? It's beautiful. There goes little Miss Ray. Okay, so we were over here. We were about halfway down the walk and more tropical sage. I just need to get it to stand up so it's not laying in the walkway. We were right here with the Mexican sunflowers. And then down below are just some pink pentas that are growing in nicely. We should be getting a lot of blooms. Look at all the little heads of them. There's another Mexican sunflower. This one's blooming. I need to deadhead it. And is there anybody else? There's a cosmos. I think that's everybody that's down here. Here, look, here's a little Darrow's blueberry coming up. And yeah, I think we hit everybody. There's some other pentas down in here. Remember, here's like a lilac-y one. And there's a white one. Remember those little pentas that I ordered on Amazon back at the beginning of the year when everything died and I was just desperate for flowers, so I was ordering anything I could? That's all these guys right here. And I need to deadhead them too. Yep. And then looking out across, you can see my wetland garden. I need to get in there and do a little bit of work. My nectar garden's looking real good right in the middle. We just had a fabulous rain. So the two beds that I really need to focus on working is the Mexican sunflower over there and that bed in the shade. That's where I'm going to be focusing my work when it's comfortable. And then the rest of it will just be maintained. And look who's right across from us. Look at this spectacular Florida native mountain mint. Look at it. I love this plant. I just love it. What a beautiful thing. And in here with these, again, I've shown this to you before, but look at these cut leaf cone flowers. Just so pretty. I love it. All right, well, that was our morning walk through the pentas garden. Coming up, I have solved my sneaky snacker problem in the garden room, and I'll be showing that to you next. There is a gorgeous spice bush swallowtail flying around in here. There we go. Landed right here on some zinnias. Look how beautiful. Yay! And we're about to go in and see the spice bush swallowtails I'm currently raising. All right, so remember we did this, or I did this for the monarchs. And look, is that not a beautiful thing? Look at them all. And they all look perfect. No signs of markings of OE. No little dark spots that are of concern. So exciting. I still have a few little guys. Okay, up first is right here. Look at this little enclosure. This enclosure is for a jumping spider or something of that nature. But it's the largest one I could find is this one. And it is working perfectly for raising caterpillars to butterflies, y'all. It's acrylic, so nothing is going to chew through it. It has air holes all down the sides for airflow. I wouldn't keep it anywhere where it's going to bake in sunlight because it could get hot. But this is over on my work table. I mean, I sit here literally and work and watch caterpillars. I love how clearly you can see through the glass, but there's some other cool features. It has a little door with a little handle, and they're magnetic. So isn't that cute? No zippers, like no zippers to deal with. I can just open it and go in. So right now I have spice bush leaves and pipe vine leaves, and I'll get them out and show you the caterpillars in a minute. I want to show you a few more features. It also has a top opening that has air holes, and same thing, a magnetic door. So I love this so much. It's a little on the expensive side. It was like $28. One of the big black enclosures, the pop-up ones, is like $29.99, $30. So it's a little bit less than that, but it's considerably smaller, but it's secure. And that's what I care about. So I love it so much that I bought another one. So I'll be assembling that, and I'll probably put the polydamas and pipevine caterpillars in the other one and just let them each have their own space. It's so easy to assemble. It has little tabs, and you just slide them in and they connect, and then there's little rubber bands that you just snap around and it just holds everything on. It's so well designed. I love it. I'll link this particular one in my Amazon storefront. You can find my Amazon storefront in the description of this and all of my videos. If you're interested in getting this for raising caterpillars, keep it in shade. I have fans running out here, so there's airflow all the time. You can see there's one fan over there. I have a big fan behind me too, blowing, so there's always ventilation. Look, you can see the little spinners trying to move. So that's the only thing I would caution on, because I could see how it could get hot in there if you weren't actually having air blowing through the ventilation holes. But I've had these guys in here for multiple days now trying it out. The only thing I don't know is if, you know, they'll climb up and pupate on the acrylic. I don't know how they're going to feel about that, but we'll find out. Actually, we'll probably find out with the pipe vine, because the Spice Bush guys are moving to the other design. Wait till you see what's next, because this isn't the only thing. I also found a way to use my pop-up enclosures with the net on the side that the sneaky snacker ate through and ate all the inhabitants of. I can still use those. So let's move on to that next. Oh, wait, no. Let's go see the caterpillars first. Okay, let's bring them out. Let's come out to play. A couple videos ago, I showed you the pipe vine swallowtail eggs and the two, it closes automatically, the two polydamas caterpillars. So this is one of the two polydamas caterpillars. And then the pipe vine eggs did hatch. And here's a little pipe vine caterpillar baby. You can see they're definitely a little different. They have a couple of the orange little spikies on their back, but just in the middle. And they have longer antennae. So I know there's more. Oh, here's the other. Look how adorable. This is the other little polydamas. You can see how different they are. I knew there was another baby. He's in there. So let me go get him, put him back on this plant. That's another little pipe vine. Okay, there he is beside his little friend. So I have two pipe vine and two polydamas in this little enclosure. And then I have my spice bush leaves in here with the babies. Look how adorable. The rest of them are in their, look at them. You're sassy. You are sassy. Are in their little leaf tents. You can see there's one. See, there's a little one right in there. Oh my gosh, they're adorable. I love them. I love this. I'm so glad to add another one. I'm going to keep it over here on my work table too. It always gets shade over here. Like I said, I've got my fans going during the heat of the day. So that's the only thing I'd be concerned about mostly is the temperature. But they are, and the door closes on you. They are thriving in here. And oh my gosh, I am just so glad to have found something where I can raise them and not have the sides of the enclosure get eaten through. Okay, next. This is my enclosure within an enclosure setup. So you can see I have one of my pop-up enclosures inside, and I built a cage all around it. And I was hoping to build a cage big enough to put two enclosures in there, but there weren't enough pieces. And actually, there weren't even enough pieces for this. I had to get creative, which I'll show you in a minute. This, with the little skinny openings where a rat is not going to fit through there. A lizard could, but a rat's not. is of all things, you ready for it? It's a guinea pig playpen kit that I bought on Amazon, and I bought it because I knew that this size was going to be good. There's other guinea pig playpen kits that have wider openings. So I'll link the one I bought here. And it's really easy to assemble. It comes with these little clips that you just snap on, and it holds the two pieces together. And it also comes with zip ties, which I super reinforced with zip ties. But I didn't have enough, so then I used some of these. Let me show you. I used some of these shelving pieces, which a rat could get through. And I took my little hardware and I zip tied it, and I used those pieces to finish it out. Fortunately, these are the same size as the square pieces that come with the guinea pig kit. So geometrically, it all fit perfectly. I just had to do something to make those spaces smaller, which is why I use the hardware cloth. All right, back to the big unit. So it's secure all the way around. And then this panel right here are the ones I had to improvise. I had to use 3 of them, but everything else is from the guinea pig kit. So I have 3 clamps that I use to keep it shut. So if I take all 3 of them off, then I can open the whole thing, because I only used zip ties here, so there's movement. It allows for movement. If I were to use the clamps, I don't think it would have moved as well. So to attach the doors to the rest of the frame, I just used zip ties. And here are the 3 pieces that I had to improvise. And then I have access to the enclosure. And then I have my light up on top. Is that not fabulous? So the guinea pig enclosure comes with like these long pieces and then these square pieces. So on the bottom one, I have one of the long pieces, and I like how, like, when I close it, it actually overlaps the other door, and then I can put the clip right there. But I also put the 2 clips at the top, one on each door. And then we're all safe and snug, right? Right? Look at everybody in here. So my hang on, this one does have a zipper. Let me get it unzipped. In here I have my eastern black swallowtail caterpillars. There's some who've pupated already. And I was able to bring one of my potted spice bush plants in. Yay! And I moved I had the 3 bigger spice bush swallowtail caterpillars. I moved them all here. There's one right here. We'll just say hi to one because we don't want to disturb everybody. They're about this size. They're starting to take on more of a greenish appearance, but they're not like that adorable bright green yet. But funny thing, y'all. Oh, look. Where did I see? Look. There's a eastern black swallowtail caterpillar that's going to pupate on the spice bush. I love it. Right here, Joyful Butterfly hardly ever has spice bush and wild black cherry trees in stock, and I noticed that they did because I regularly check. I have a bad habit like that. So I bought one each, and they were sitting here. I looked over, and there was a spice bush swallowtail caterpillar on here. It must have come with the plant. Look, there's his little his little curved leaf he was living in. So I moved him in there too. Look, here's his other. Is there another one? There's not another one, is there? No, it's empty. So anyway, I moved him in there too. So now I have 4 of them in there. And you know what I'm looking at? Look, it looks like something's been munching the wild black cherry tree too. Why do I keep buying more of these? Well, like I have in there, I like small potted ones to be able to put in the enclosure, because especially the spice bush caterpillars, having a plant instead of just a pile of leaves. There's some eastern black swallowtail. One is about to pupate and one has pupated. So that's why I like having them on the plant, so they can feel like they are in nature. So what do you guys think? I think I've solved the issue for the moment. I mean, till some other predator comes along. So then these guys are zipped up tight. And then this door closes first. And then this door with the extra flap closes. And clip that shut. I love these clamps. I love them. I've had them for years. They're in my Amazon storefront too. They're kind of expensive, but they are the best quality. I've used them outside, inside. They don't rust. They look new, don't they? I've had them for years. Oh my gosh. Look, there's a golf fertilary. It just came in. I'm gonna have to go get my little tool and get them out. All right, let me finish this. These are my Amazon storefront. And then I just come up here and clip and clip. And we are secure. I love it. All right, I'm gonna go rescue that butterfly. Should I take his mugshot? All right, let's let you out. Yay! You know what? I noticed there is a skipper down here too. Let's go get him. See him? Hello, adorable one. So you can see him up close. All right, you ready to go? Yep. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a moment and tap the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to my channel. I'm trucking my way to hit 5,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh, that'll be so fabulous. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting my channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone. Hey, it's Editing Me popping in to let you know I was just adding in the links to my Amazon storefront, and the guinea pig panels that I bought are no longer available. So I found multiple other ones that I put in there, and then you can just go through and check them all out. And I also noticed that the bug trapper thing that I bought was a single one, and it's no longer, it must be sold out. So I put links for, there's a 2-pack, and then there's another one that's larger. I put those in there for now. Okay.